All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis, beyond thrilled to be bringing you the Super Bowl. All the pomp, all the circumstance, all the pageantry. It doesn't get any better than this, partner.
I'm loving sharing this booth with you, sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the teachers who said we'd never make it, we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks about the build-up, the anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one?
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year. If they didn't just say, let's go get them, guys, they probably talked too much.
On second down, Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after that.
And Freeman lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
22!
Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right, and it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
22!
To throw again, Ryan. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On third down, Ryan. The 20. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Anderson. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. He goes underneath for Anderson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's first and goal. They'll run. Anderson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Second and goal from inside the 5. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They go play action here on first down. And some room to run now. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So first and 10 now from the 30. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
There we go. Gun. 54, set. Space. 22.
Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, 70 yards. And the Falcons are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A shotgun snap for Watson. Throwing right, and that's complete. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now Ryan on second down. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Here's Ryan. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air.
22.
But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. They toss to Freeman. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. On the move to his left. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go. 11. Space. Wait. Here we go.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Watson. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. A dump off to Anderson. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Watson. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And on the stop, DeMonte Casey.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Back 22! Back 22!
Throwing on third down, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Fairbairn is good. So we've reached halftime here in the 2020 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And an alley to run. The 40. The 30. 10. For touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans are in for 6. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is now 2. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as...
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They run it again with Anderson. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Faking the give. Now Watson. Flushed out right. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will push the lead up to 5. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
So out come the Falcons now. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? When they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
Richmond. Come back.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Handoff comes to Anderson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. C.J. Anderson, 27 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
Well, pardon me, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right?
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Navarro Bowman coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. From the shotgun, Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at about the 32. Back to throw, Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dump.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tack McKinley, he's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
12. Left.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Gun. Left. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. They give it to Anderson. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Watson now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They run. Anderson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
To throw on second is Watson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
To throw on 3rd down, Watson. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good game before he's taken down. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So yet another field goal to end the drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Now Anderson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back...
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Taylor,
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
21.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. Connects with Sanu right side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got Sanu. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They go play action here on 1st down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. Throw right side caught by Ridley. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to let it go. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Falcons cut into that lead. To throw again is Ryan. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. 2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Got some real estate inside the 30. Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Anderson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. They're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. And the Lone Star State has a new champion. It's the Houston Texans, kings of the Super Bowl. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.